Hello, this is Keith Allen. Welcome back. Today we're going to use the filter function with inside of another filter function. So in other words, we're going to we'll build a double filter function to return non-continuous columns, meaning that instead of returning columns of data in your result set that are actually right next to each other, we're gonna specifically select the columns that we want. So in other words, we could select department and February sales, or we could select category with quarter one sales. So we're not limited to bring back all columns all at once, or continuous columns that are right next door to each other. So let's first build the first part of this function here, which is the first filter function that we're going to use inside of the outer filter function. Let's go over here. Let's go filter. The first argument to the filter function is an array. In other words, let's select the data that we want returned from the filter function. So in this case, I'm going to just select all of it. So in the include portion of this filter function, when it finds a true, it's going to return every single column of results. So you'll see that in a second. So what do we want to include? In this case, we want to include quarter one sales that are greater than or equal to $200,000, for instance. So what this filter function just did was I selected all the data here. And then what do I want to return with this data? I only want to return the records that fall within this include argument, which is all sales that are greater than or equal to $200,000. So that's what that returned over here. And it returned every single column because of the fact that I selected the entire range all at once. But let's say that you only want to return, let's say, the department and the quarter one sales out of this result set. Well, there's a way that you could do this by including this within another filter function. And let's build this by scratch again. So we're going to say filter. The first argument to the filter function is the array. So let's build another filter function that returns the array that we want. I'm going to select all the data again, comma. What do we want to include? We want to include quarter one sales greater than or equal to $200,000. Okay. Now, comma. Now this is part of the outer filter function. So out of this result set right here, which is this result set right now, this is what's going to be put into the outer filter function as the array. Out of this, what do we want to return? Well, we're going to use some array constants to select the columns that we want returned. So the array constants is going to be surrounded with curly braces, and within the curly braces, we're going to select the columns that we want. So since this array here has 6 columns, we want to make sure that we have 6 choices basically within the array constants. So 1, And we want to return the first column and the last column. So I'm going to explain this as we go. This is the second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, now the sixth column. Let me close this out, press enter, and as you can see, this is what's returned. Now let's dissect this. So first of all, an array constant is a collection of values, which are these that we have here within curly braces, that you directly enter into a formula with curly braces around them. So now how does the filter function work? The filter function works based upon, there's an include argument, which is the second argument to the filter function. And that states that out of the range that we select in the first argument, what do we want to get returned? So when it evaluates the include argument, the filter function will return a true or a false. So in this case, is the Q1 sales greater than or equal to 200,000? Yes, it is. So it'll return 1 for this record. It's going to return false for this particular record because it doesn't fall within this criteria of greater than or equal to 200,000. So in that case, it's going to return false. So, but what Excel does is it turns a true into a 1 and a false into a 0. So this is the reason why we're returning 1s and 0s here in the array constant. Hopefully this makes sense to you. So let's first look at this set here. Press F9. Oh, not in the actual formula. Sorry about that. So what you could see, F9 again, that's what the inside filter function is returning. So now the second outer filter function, out of this result set, what do we want to get returned? Well, in this case, we want to return, again, this returns all the result sets that are $200,000 or more. But we only want to select the first column and the last column. So out of this 1 here, we're going to return the first column. And these are all false, so it's going to skip these columns here, the category, the January, February, March. And then the last one, it's going to select 1. So let's escape out of here. Let's do this. Oh, wait. Let me do this. Highlight everything. Press F9. As you can see what it's doing here. So it's selecting the first column's value and the last column. Again, it goes to the next record, engineering 204,700, and it continues on through that result set. Press escape to get out of there. Hopefully I explained this okay, and if I didn't, please comment in the video below where I can explain it more clearly for you what these array constants are doing in this particular case to return the columns that you want out of the filter function. And again, you have the option, instead of returning all columns, you can return non-contiguous columns of your choice by using this syntax here. Thanks again for stopping by. Please like and share this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.